everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial from Middle-earth. Yes, we are here with the evil half of the Battle of Osgiliath box set, sent to me early by Games Workshop to review, paint, build and play with for all of you. And we are going to be doing these guys today. We are going to be doing all of them in the same video, because I really like this format for these guys, for the Middle-earth stuff like the Rohan and Isengard battle hosts. So we are going to be painting up a Mordor Troll, 24 Morannon Orcs, Gothmog on Warg, and Gothmog on foot. It's a nice and simple box set. It's very easy. So I'm excited to do this. It's all been primed in Grace here, and we're going to start with the Orcs, then the Troll, and then we shall conclude with Gothmog. So let's grab our paints, grab our brushes, and get started. So the place we're going to start when painting our forces of Mordor is the Morannon Orcs. Here they are. We're going to be focusing on these four. We've got some with shields, some with spears and shields, and some just with a weapon. So in this case, a form of sword. Not sure how effective that is. So they've all been primed in grey Seer, and the colour we're going to be using first is Flesh Tearer's Red. Now we're going to be applying this over their shirts and the kind of, well, the top parts of the fabric. So we've got, for example, on this one here, we've got this kind of part at the back. It's kind of what I would normally refer to as a skirt. They might be cross if I said they were wearing skirts, but who cares? So just going to be applying this Flesh Tearer's Red all over like this section, like that. Nice and simple. You just want to make sure you get the underside as well. Just like this. Then we've got the shirt part, or the top part, around the arms. Like this. We just want to do this over across with all 24 of our Morannon Orcs. So with that Flesh Tearer's Red applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Wyldwood and we're going to apply this to all of the wood. So what we'll have is we've got the areas on the shields, although this one's a bad example because that one's pure metal. We've got the kind of, well, the hafts or shafts of the spears. So we're just going to whack that on there. Like this. So that sort of thing. We'll do the bottom half of it. But on the shield, some of them got a wooden outward facing, but most of them have got wood on the inside as well. So you just want to take that and apply it all over like this. So with that Wyldwood applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion and we're going to apply this to any belts, straps, and the remaining parts of the kind of fabrics and stuff. So on this guy, for example, we've got the inside of the shield there. like so. We've got the backs of the legs. We've got his belt, both front and back. So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Ratling Grime and we're going to apply this to all of their hair. So with that Ratling Grime applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to add the flesh colours. Now we're going to be using two colours for this, and we're going to alternate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Militarum Green and Snakebite Leather. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that Snakebite Leather and we're going to apply this over their faces and their hands. It's very nice and simple. And we're just going to do this on this guy here. So I'm just going to apply this like this. All over. Just like that. And similarly, we're going to use Militarum Green on the other guy. And so with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors and we're going to apply this over the top of all our remaining details. Yes, all the armour, the weapons, and the shield facings that we haven't painted in yet. So with all of that Iron Warriors applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to add a shade. Well, two shades, but the first one is going to be Targor Rageshade, and we're going to apply this over the entire model. Yes, that's right, over all the red, the black, the flesh, and the silver. We're just going to slap it on there like this. So with that Targor Rageshade all applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to apply this over the top of the armour, just the armour. We want to make it nice and dark and dirty. So with that done, our Morannon Orcs are now at what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. And, well, we're not going to leave them there. We're going to take them to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding two highlights. Just two. Now, the first one we're going to add is the longest one. And it's going to be some thinned down Iron Hand Steel. And we're going to use this to highlight all of our silver. So this is including the weapon, all of the armour. And we're just going to pick out all of the edges. Just like this. So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to finish them off by taking some Screaming Skull. And we're going to use this to paint in any of their bared teeth. Like that. And how we're going to actually finish them off is we're going to take a tiny little dot of Black Legion and we're just going to apply this over the top of their eyeballs. Like so. So with our Morannon Orcs now all finished, it is time to move on to the Troll. Here he is. What a mean specimen. Of course, the forces of Mordor, I should say, bought a cave troll, but it's a Mordor Troll. Anyway, we're going to firstly start out by painting in all of his flesh. Now the colour we're going to be using for this is Agrax Earthshade, on its own over the top of our Grey Seer primer. And what we're going to do is just start here on the face, and we're just going to start painting this all over. Just like this. Now, one thing you do want to watch out for is that there are a number of kind of leather bindings here on the arms. It's not all skin. However, down here on the tummy, it is skin. So we're just going to start painting this over. And it doesn't matter if you get this over the top of the scales. If anything, that'll help you further down the line. But for now, I just want to get this over the top of all of this flesh. And then once that's done, we shall return. So with that Agrax Earthshade applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Garaghak Sewer and we're going to apply this to, well, all of our leather details, excluding all the straps. So we're just going to start applying this to this little section here. Like that. We've got the kind of belt. And got all those wraps around his back and his arms as well. So with that Garaghak Sewer all applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Black Legion. I'm going to apply this over the cloth down here and over the top of all of our remaining straps. So with that done, we're then going to take some Black Templar and we're going to apply this over the toenails and the fingernails. So with that Black Templar applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown and we're going to use this over the top of all of the scales. So with that done, we're then going to take some Wyldwood and we're going to apply this over the handle of the weapon. And so with that done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors and we're going to apply this over the top of all of our remaining details. So with that done, all of our base coats are now on the troll, so it's time to add some shades. And the first one we're going to add is Reikland Fleshshade. We're going to be applying this over the troll's skin. Just going to add a little bit of that fleshy texture in there. And just add a little bit more depth to that Agrax Earthshade. With that Reikland Fleshshade applied, we're then going to take some Targor Rageshade and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the leather and over the top of all of the silver. So with that done, we've just got a couple more colours to add, and that is going to be Volupus Pink on the tongue, here, like so, and over the top of this lip. Well, this is gums. Like so. And then next up, we're going to take some Cygor Brown, and we're going to do a kind of tiny little bit of blending here. So what we're going to do is around the face, as you see around these kind of, well, they're not kind of, around the eyes and the nose. So we're going to add the Cygor Brown, but then we're going to kind of smooth it out into the rest of the shaded areas that we've already got. So we're just going to apply the Cygor Brown like this, going right across, like that. And then we're going to wash the brush. I'm going to smooth out that transition like that around the nose. Similarly, on the shoulder, just here, I'm going to add the Cygor Brown like this, coming down to around about there. We're going to wash the brush. Then we're going to smooth out the transition. And then lastly, on his back, we're going to do the same thing. So we're just going to add the Cygor Brown like this, coming all the way down on either side. We're going to wash the brush, and then we're going to smooth it out. So with that done, our Mordor Troll is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. It's looking pretty cool. However, we're not going to leave it there. No, what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding some highlights. Now, the first one we're going to add is Rakarth Flesh. And basically what we're going to be doing is on all of the Troll's skin, is we're going to be just kind of doing lots of kind of little feathered lines going all the way along, just to make it look really wrinkled. So we're just going to start down here, and we're just going to start painting across the muscles with the Rakarth Flesh. Just like this. So with that done, we're then going to take some Screaming Skull, and we're going to use this to highlight the teeth And we're going to put a dot of this in each corner of the eyeballs. So with that done, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the silver. And so with that done, just to finish him off, what we're going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the black. So here we have it then, Gothmog, the Lieutenant of Sauron himself. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be focusing on Gothmog on the Warg, because, well, everything that we do on Gothmog on here will be exactly the same as what we will do on here. There's no differences at all. You see? None whatsoever. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start by doing all of the fur on the Warg, and we're also going to be doing the fur on Gothmog's back. You can see it all down here. And we're going to be using 3 colours for this. We're going to be using Skeleton Horde, Wyldwood and Black Templar. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to start with Skeleton Horde. We're going to load up our brush with a lovely big dollop of Skeleton Horde, and we're just going to start applying it all over the fur. However, we're going to take this in sections because we need to do a little bit of blending. So we're going to be doing the top part here. This is where the main focus of the blending is. We've got some here, some on the back, and there's a little bit that goes on Gothmog's back. So I'm going to start by just applying this Skeleton Horde all over, and I'll demonstrate this on one side of the Warg. So we get that all over, like so. And then what we do is we wash the brush. And the next colour we then use is Wyldwood whilst it's still wet. So we take that Wyldwood and we apply this over the top of the Warg's hair, like this. Then we wash the brush. Then we grab a bit of Black Templar. And we apply this like that to the main, well, to the crest of the Warg's mane, like so. Then we wash the brush one more time. Grab a bit of Skeleton Horde. We bring that along where the Skeleton Horde and the Wyldwood meet to just smooth that out just a little bit and create a much nicer, smoother blend like that. We will go replicate that on the same way on the other side here, but otherwise what we're going to do is we're just going to take Skeleton Horde. I'm going to apply this all over the Warg. just like that. Now similarly, we will be doing the head, but what we're going to do is we're going to take this skeleton horde, and over the back here, we're not going to blend it down as dark as we did. Over here, we're just going to be using the two colours. We're going to be using skeleton horde and Wyldwood. So we're just going to apply that skeleton horde all over, up to the tail. Like so. We're going to wash the brush. Then we're going to grab a little bit of Wyldwood, and then just around the middle of the warg, we're going to apply this like so. So with that done, just whilst we're waiting for it to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to use this to paint in all of the leather tack on the warg. So with that Cygor Brown applied to all of the leather and all of the tack, what we're going to do now is we're going to take some Flesh Tearers Red. I'm going to apply this to Gothmog's clothes. So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over the top of all of Gothmog's armour. As well as over the top of whatever weapons you've given him. Give him the shield, the sword, the mace for example. So with that done, we're then going to take some Black Legion and we're going to apply this over the top of his kind of inner clothes. It's a little bit more obvious on the Gothmog on foot. We've kind of got this kind of, it's like an undershirt type thing. Like that sort of thing. To demonstrate, you can see we've got it just here. So with that done, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Guilliman Flesh and we're going to apply this over his hands and his face. So with that done, we're then going to take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to apply this over the top of the wrap on the weapon. We're going to apply it over the top of his hair. And we're going to apply this over the warg's teeth. And with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Shyish Purple. I'm going to apply this over the tongue of the warg. So with that done, we've now got all of our base coats on both of our versions of Gothmog. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some shades. Now the first one isn't really a shade, it's more of a kind of next kind of level of base coating. And it's actually going to be Black Templar. And what we're going to do here is we're going to apply this over the top of the warg's nose. Like so. We're going to apply it over the top of the warg's eyes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to apply Black Templar over the top of Gothmog's armour. We want this to be really dark and heavy. So with that done, just as we've done so many times before, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Targor Rageshade and we're going to use this to shade all of Gothmog. So we're going to put this over the top of the armour, the red, the leather, all of it. This is just going to add a little bit of extra depth to the armour and also just give us a nice good shading. A little bit of dirt on our red and on our black and on our brown. Anything we're going to avoid is his face. Well, any of his flesh. And we don't need to put this over the top of any of the fur. So with that done, Gothmog is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. He's very nearly there, and we've only got a couple of highlights to apply. The first one is going to be some Screaming Skull, which we're going to use to dry brush over the top of all of our fur. So with that Screaming Skull dry brush applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Pallid Wych Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight the fangs and the claws. So with that done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Hand Steel. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the armour and the weapon and any metallic details that we've got on Gothmog. So with that done, we're then going to take some Pallid Wych Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight all of his skin. Because it's all lumpy and warty, all we want to do really here is just place these little dots around all of the kind of growths and things. And finally, just to finish him off, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Black Templar. Very small amount here. And we're going to apply this over the kind of recesses where his eyes should be. And we're also going to add a little bit of this into his mouth, like that. And there you have it. Gothmog. Done.
And so with their bases complete, the age of men is over and the time of the orc has come. Yes, here we are, all finished. I think they look fantastic, ready to besiege Osgiliath and head across the Pelennor to Minas Tirith under the leadership of Gothmog himself, the Lieutenant of Sauron. I really enjoyed doing this. It's always fun to have those kind of all over shades. It's one of the best parts about painting the evil miniatures from the Lord of the Rings game. Oh, it's just so much fun. And it looks fantastic, even if I do say so myself.
If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you want to support me further like these legends and bosses on the screen before you, you can do so. Head to patreon.com/warhipster or head to ko-fi.com/warhipster. Alternatively, you could become a YouTube member by heading to the channel page and clicking on the join button just here, just like these amazing, wonderful people have done. And if you really like this video or you just want to shoot me some support, you can click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.